You're ready.
Go.
Hey guys, we're back again. This is another victim that we have, and he's really let his hair grow long. And what we're going to do, we're going to give you some ideas, but right now what I'm doing with my students is I'm teaching them how to utilize a clipper. Now you guys know I use my Oster, and to me there's no other clipper. The students have wall clippers at the school, but you always hold your clipper on the bottom. I've seen people do this and stuff, but then what does that do? Your elbow goes up, and then that's, after a while, you're going to get tired easier. So if you hold it on the bottom, you can still twist the clipper around to do what you want it to do. One thing you're going to check when you're doing a haircut, especially a shortcut, is the growth pattern. And if you can see here, his growth pattern, he does grow to the front there. So not a bad thing, because that says, yeah, he could have a squared off neckline if he wanted one. And again, on this side, he kind of, he still grows. And some people, these cowlicks are what's different. This is what you look at behind, it's that area behind the ear, right inside the nape, and becomes a big factor in haircutting that a lot of people don't pay attention to. So what I'm going to do, he said we could go ahead and do a fade, but I'm going to show you how to practice with your clipper first. The main thing you've got to practice doing, is, of course, this is a clipper comb, carving. This is what carving is about right here. And your comb does it. Now you notice I'm moving my fingers. You can do this, but look at what it does to the comb. See how it turns it? Carving does not, when you use your fingertips. So that's important. So what I'm going to do, the parietal line to the tip of the ear, I'm going to start blending like for a tapered haircut. I'm going to try not to get hair in your face, because this thing kind of blows it out. So if it does, just kind of, close your eyes or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to take it. Now remember, I'm carving, so this is going to be the first step. This is the next step, that's the last step. So I'm taking it, there you go. You see it? Tip of the ear. Taking it off right there. And you see that line? It's a slight angle. If it goes too horizontal, you're not taking it to the parietal line. The reason for this is because of the roundness of the head. I'm going to take another one. Now remember, look at the angle. It's slightly changed. We're traveling down. Finally, that last angle is almost flat. So what I'm going to do now, and this is what the students have been practicing with, and they didn't take it this close. I had them pull it out, and if you have a mannequin that you're working on, you want to pull it out. Now I'm going ahead and cutting his hair, but you want to pull it out and hold it out. Just work 1/4 inch increments at a time. This is just the one time, but work 1/4 inch increments at a time. In other words, start here, go up closer, here, here, until, you're going to start here, I'm sorry. And then you're going to go closer as you take off a little bit more. Practice the system. Okay, now as we've done this, you see this line. Okay, we know where the nape line. Again, what's my phrase? If you don't know where you're at, how do you know where you're going? We're going to follow that nape line. So I'm going to take it again. Coming out right there where I've got my guide. You see my guide right here. Okay, I'm holding that. It's about a good inch away from the scalp. Take that off. And you see that coming in. I've got a little bit of a corner right here. See it? Putting it up. Now it goes right back. Now tip of the ear down into the nape. Now I'm going to do that slight angle. And now we're going to do it flat. So as you do it flat, you can see that shorter to longer. Shorter to longer. As we come around, I hope you can hear me with the clipper going. I'm going to shift this head forward just a bit. But you can see that taper coming in. I'm going to take it down to the very center nape, traveling around. We kind of call this nape line the happy face. Remember, just inside the nape line, right here is where that area is behind the ear. If you go back to our other videos, and it identifies the head form, memorize that. Get it so that when I'm doing these videos for you, you know exactly what I'm talking about and where you're at and where you need to go. All right, so I'm going to now come into that. You see the comb is flat again. Take that off, and you see that coming in, slight angle, and now flat in this form. And then it's just coming in. See, he does have a really nice growth pattern there. If he wanted a taper cut, it would go really great. Now, the mistake that's made on this side, remember, this side, look at the angle of the comb. I want to show this to you because, remember, tip of the ear, I repeat that, two parietal lines. See the angle of the comb? Okay, right? Okay. As you do the other side, I find people want to do that again. No, tip of the ear to parietal line. All right? Be aware of where you're at and where you're going. I'm going to take this again, tip of the ear to parietal line, take it off. Now one side grows forward, one side grows back, and this side definitely grows back. See that layback? As soon as I bring it forward, it sticks out. That's the growth pattern. That's normal. Surprisingly enough, he's normal. We've wondered about him a few times, but no, he's normal. So we're going to still follow that same line. We're taking this off. Now, yeah, are there ways to do that, to take care of that? Yes. We don't want to wear you out on this, so we're not going to do that today, but that's still at a slight angle. We're coming back around to the nape line. Take that off. Come in. Different angle. Take it off. Come in. Flat. There you go. See, it's that angle. That's like I said. Now we've got a corner here. Do you see that? I'm going to take that corner off right now. There you go. I'm not going to clean around the ears just yet. I'm going to do that in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to shift his head forward again. Take this, and I'm creating a corner there. I've got this as my guide. So flat, angle. Now the main thing is, always keep your clipper in the comb. Don't sway one way or the other, because the clipper has no brains. It could cut a line into this area that maybe I don't want it to cut a line into. Okay, so now we've created a corner. We're going to take that off. And sometimes, yeah, you have to do that. See that? It's really rounded that out. I'm going to carve into that. You see me shifting my comb as I am. And then now he's going into what we would call a tapered haircut. And you can see that. All right? There is one thing I want to show you on hair cutting. Let me put this back for a minute. Okay, hang on. There is one thing I want to show you about hair cutting. Sometimes, there have been times in the past, some guys like to have that corner right there. He wants it off, so I deliberately left it long enough to show you. So what you do when you want that corner, and I saw a video today, and what they did was they kind of slide cut and created the corner. This is such a simple way to do it. Take it over. The head up on top is you know, your parietal line is rounded. Take it to this corner, and you're going to just cut it. And look at that sharp peak corner that comes up. And then you can clean it up if you want. But it automatically does it for you. Take it over there. It automatically puts that corner, puts that line in there. And I can take it back if I want to get rid of some of that. Okay. Slight angle. I know you can't see it because of the comb. And there you go. So it creates that corner for you. His hair's pretty wavy. I'm going to point cut it, clean it up a little bit, but it will automatically create it. How long do you want it? It's how long you hold it out in this area. So when you bring it to this corner, you want to hold it way out. Okay, so now we're going to get down to the down and dirty and cutting his hair. We're going to give him what he wants. He said basically what he wants is about 2 inches on top. He wants a fade coming up. So I'm going to change my blade. This is what I like about the Oster clipper too. I don't have to worry about guards. I'm going to start with a 3.5 blade. And I'm going to take it up. It's always better to go longer first. Make sure I'm safe here with this. Okay, let me turn them a little bit. My cord is getting stuck. Okay, it's always better to go a little longer because you can always take it off, you just can't put it back. Okay, we're going to fade him up with a 3.5 up to the lower ridge. Your parietal line is where? You can already see it right there. The lower ridge is right there. You see that corner? That's the lower ridge. It tells you that right away. It's not here, it's not there, it's the lower ridge. Some people call this the crest of the head. Okay, they tell you take it up to the crest. Okay, you can take it up to the crest, but the point is, you may get it a little higher, a little lower. The lower ridge is a definite spot. It's where the comb leaves the head. Where the comb leaves the head, right there. So I'm going to brace, and I'm going to take them up and just take it up to the lower ridge. Everything's coming off at the lower ridge. And just put your finger on his little earlobe right there, and that pulls that down. Take it up to the lower ridge. See, I don't even have to guess because I know exactly where that lower ridge is at. See it? Right there. So you normally see people fade up to that. And as they're measuring, sometimes that's why they get it off. Okay, you can see the natural growth pattern on his hair right there. It's got a really, really nice natural growth pattern. This is normally what people want, is that type of method or direction for the hair to grow, because that's what we try and create. But when you're doing a haircut, sometimes you have to tell the client, it's not me, it's you. This is how your hair grows. Because they wonder, well, why can't it be done? It's not that it can't be done, it's just that your hair doesn't allow it to be done. We'd have to fake it in there. Okay? You see that nice growth pattern coming in? And I'm just going to go ahead and take it off right there at the lower ridge. What I'm doing is I'm carving out, by the way. Going in this form. And taking it straight up. The back of the blade is against the head, and as I come up, the blade that's cutting is right here. See, the outer blade isn't cutting. It's got a shorter blade inside that's cutting. I can put my finger right there. It's not going to cut me. Now again, we're at the center. I'm going to take it up again to the lower ridge. Yeah, see what a nice growth pattern he's got? Really nice. That looks really good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some clipper over comb. I'm going to put my 0 back on. Put my 0 blade back on. So now I'm going to be totally dependent on my comb. I'm going to be totally dependent on my comb and, of course, the ability to cut. All right? So I'm going to take this now. I'm going to hold my comb perfectly straight. This is the way it's going to be. Can you see it on the head form? So I'm going to still be taking this straight up, and the top is going to be a little longer, but I'm holding the comb perfectly straight up there and taking it straight up. I'm not going around the side. I'm taking it straight up. And you've got to look at it because you can see that it's feeding in real nice for a nice blend and fade effect. So it doesn't matter how short you take this, when you hold your comb in this manner, or this form right here, it's going to give it that fade or blended in effect. So what I'm looking for is like little ridges or little dark spaces that it's a little bit hard to see. All right, now I'm going to take this side. Remember, I'm taking the comb straight up. You'll be able to see it a lot more right here. Now you see that area there. Let me get this long piece here and clean that up. Again, my comb is not going any shorter than what I've got at the scalp. We're moving slightly up to the parietal line, but we're not going to go into the parietal line. And sometimes what you might do, because you always want to cut what we call it cutting against the grain. In other words, cut against, see this hair slightly grows forward. So I'm going to direct it back so that I can cut it. You cut against the grain. There you go. I'm going to bring this straight up. And see, I've got my guide. I can see it underneath that. And again, the comb is not folding in, it's staying out. How much time do I have, cameraman?
13.
Pardon?
13.
Oh, 13. Oh, we got plenty of time. All right, so now I'm going to take it, and you've got to be careful around the corner. Around this spot right here. Excuse me, you guys, my eye is itching. We're going to take it, this is where the cowlicks are. This is the vertex right here. So this is where you're going to find the cowlicks. So I want to make sure that we've got these little long pieces. See, you can't see them because they lay down. Okay, shorter?
You do you.
No, tell me if that's good for you. If you want it shorter, I can take it even shorter. So I did it with 3.5, but I can do it with a 2.
That's fine. Where it's at?
It's fine where it's at?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're good there. But if I did it with a 2, you would definitely be able to see his scalp a little more. But that's you'd give your client what the client wants. You want them to be comfortable when they leave. All right, so we've pretty much taken care of that end of it. Now what I want to show you is how to do some scissor over comb. Before I do that though, I'm going to trim up his back, get my trimmers out. I'm going to shift his head forward and just create that straight line. Always go center to side or side to center. And then I want to take, now normally when I do this, I just put my finger there and I just go around my finger, which is what I'll do right now here. Let my finger be the pivot point that we do. I'm going to clean up his sideburns just a tad. Okay, then I'm going to take this up to get it nice and clean. I'm going to take this now to the other side, tap it, come back down. And you have to back away to make sure it's straight. So I hope you could hear me with my loud clippers going, but I gotta tell you, I love them. There's that, my wall clipper would not have been able to climb up on his head like my Oster did. I would have been bogged down and still trying to get that hair off. So it's well worth the money because you're gonna make money with it. The less time that it takes you to get rid of that hair. Oops, I don't want that to fall out. Let me get it. Oh yeah, I see it. It got stuck on the arm. Yeah, you don't want to drop your clippers. The blades are not cheap. Get that hair off him. Okay, so now what I want to show you is how to do some scissor over comb. Let me get my water bottles over here. water bottle. All right, I'm just going to use this one. Okay, again, just using your clipper comb. I'm wetting them down pretty good. And what did he say? He said he wanted about 2 inches on top. Are you wanting to spike it, or are you just wanting to kind of comb it back, Joey?
Either way.
Either way, so kind of you might want to spike it a little bit.
Sometimes I feel weird and I like to comb it back, and sometimes forward. And
Yeah, when he's weird, he combs it back. So watch out for the guy walking towards you that's got his hair combed back, acting weird. Okay, so I know we've already talked about it. He wants about 2 inches. So what's 2 inches on a comb? All right, many combs have a designated marking spots. I've been doing this for a long time, so I've got a pretty good idea what 2 inches is. When you cut it front to back, you're going to get volume. And cutting it scissor over comb, see the volume that we got already? When you're cutting it scissor over comb, now notice that my comb is flat to the top of the head. That's my guide. Could I do this? Yes, but why? How much more hair did I just now take off? Utilizing my clipper comb to do the work for me. That's what your tools are for, to do the work for you. What this did, it created a corner right there. I don't think, you probably can't see it, but there it is. Perfect little corner. You see it? It's a corner right there. And that's because the hair at the parietal line traveled down to be cut and traveled up. That's just the physics behind this. All right, at the frontal area, I'm still going to hold it straight up. And what's that going to do? That's going to create a little bit more length up front. Why? Here's your why. The head inverts down. The shortest point is going to be at the apex. That's the highest point of the head. The head rolls down, and if we hold it straight up, do you see how that's going to be longer? All right, so I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just slightly clean up that corner right there. And his cowlick back here is not too bad, actually, compared to others. It lays back real nice. Now, one thing I want you to see on his growth pattern, this is him. All right, he grows to this side. So when you comb that back, that's going to want to lay down. And what's there? There's a corner. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot this forward, get rid of that corner. Now, do you see that lay back down just a little more? The reason for that is shorter moves longer. I got just a scotch of a corner there that I'm going to clean up. There you go. Now it's cleaner. And sometimes you see them. You're never finished with your cut. I've had clients that are getting ready to walk out the door, and I stop them because I see something that needs to be done. Now what I'm going to do with him here, because I want him to be able to part it, I'm bringing it down to the center. And I know you probably can't see it. So I'm going to bring the comb way up there. I'm going to cut it up, and that takes care of that as well. So you see that this cut is short enough, or you want it shorter on top? That's about 2 inches at the top. What about this?
Honestly, if you want to go a little bit shorter, it's cool.
Go a little shorter? Okay. So he's good with that. So let me wet this down just a little more. Where did I put my water bottle?
Okay.
I hate it when I lose things. Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. So I want to wet it down just a bit more. So one thing that I'm going to do with him on my last, on my razor cutting video that I just did, that was just published, I showed you guys how to do sculpture cutting. I'm going to do that with his hair. First, I'm going to take it just a tad shorter, because what's he saying? Yes, I want it shorter. He doesn't want to have to worry about another haircut for a while. So we're taking off a good, I'd say about almost another, not quite an inch. You can see that it's starting to pop up a little more. I'm going to take it here, and I see my guide. If you can't, don't cut to cut. If you don't have a guide, don't cut. People wonder, you know, why didn't it work out? Well, did you see your guide? No. All right, well, there's your answer. Okay, now we're going down to the upper ridge right here and traveling to the parietal line. I know it's hard for you guys to see it because I'm off to the side. Traveling to the parietal line right here. Now, at the crown, because of his cowlick, do you see that pop up? All right, we're going to go ahead and take that off, and then I'm going to take my razor and my texture shear, because now we're starting to see a few little hard lines there, aren't we? You can see that hair breaking up right there. But I want you to see how even it still is, though. Just utilizing this clipper comb. This is a gold mine. Learn how to use it. All right, so we're even. I mean, it's all there. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my razor, and you guys know I use a Tondeo. Throw that in there for now. All right, so I want to clean that up so that it lays better for him, and then I am going to texturize it with the texturizing shear as well. What I'm working on right now is those little things that are popping up on the ends. I'm going to create an edge on the very tips of the hair. Now you see those broken lines. I'm hoping that you can see them, because again, just like, now once you get used to razor cutting, now see how that lays a lot better? Once you get used to razor cutting, what you'll do is you'll get faster at it. At this point, do it in slow motion. If you do it in slow motion, you'll feel that hair, you'll feel it cut through it. It's just cleaning up those very tips. I'm coming in at a slight angle. My razor is not straight onto it, it's at an angle. It's at a 45-degree angle or a 135-degree angle. Look at your protractor, it's the same angle. And I'm going to take it now over on this side. See all those little choppy ends? Again, just kind of clean it up. Now see it start to lay down. You're telling this hair what it's going to do. This hair is no longer in control. Now you see that coming down, so nice, so clean, and doing what you want it to do. You see it's not broken up anymore. It's laying really nice. I'm going to get rid of this little corner right here with my razor. Again, there you go. So it's really laying a whole lot better now. Remember, we're on top of the hair right now. We're not underneath it. And very gently, the comb is rough, but the razor is very gently, just like I said before, you're putting frosting down, and you don't want to show any lines. So you're just smoothing it very carefully so there's no lines that are going to show. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my texture shear, and what he wants is either to pop it up, spike it up, or he wants to wear it to the side. Depends on what happens. But I want it to go back. The comb directs the hair. So cut, 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 cut. I'm going inside to the scalp, and that's going to help take it back. I want this to go back. The comb of the texture shear, this part of it is what cuts, and this part of it is what's also, look at that hair just lay back. And it's laying back even more than it was earlier. Okay? Now, what about that part? Do we want that part? Do we not want that part? How much time do we have, cameraman?
Well, actually, you're about there if you want to extend it.
Okay, I just need to extend it a little bit.
Okay, start it.
Okay, you ready? All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna bring this up. This time, it's going to the side. Because I want to get rid of that natural part that he's got. Okay? This has got to come over and be redirected so we don't have that part anymore. And the hair starts going straight back. I don't want to give you my back. Now that's what I want you to see, that the hair is going straight back. Now, once we wet this, put a little bit of gel on it, you're not going to be able to see that at all. So I'm going to take him, I'm going to turn him around this way, because we want that what to go back. And you know what's nice about him, he's got enough hair for 35 people, so we're good. Clean cut, nice. If they give him a raise at work, all I want is 10%. But here's what I want to show you that ends up happening too with this. I'm going to use my blow dryer. High heat, low air. Watch this. High heat, low air, part's gone. It automatically takes it up, and you can see that the part. Now, what if I want this to kind of go off in this direction? High heat, low air, let it cool off. And I'm going to fold that in a bit. High heat, low air. Now he's starting to go back real nice. So it's those tricks of the trade, sorry you guys, I can get my gel here. Those tricks of the trade that help you. And you don't need a lot of gel either. So, all right, there you go. Just that little bit. Now all that hair, lightly gelled, goes back. So you tell the hair what it's going to do. It doesn't tell you. Now if he wants this to spike up, he can do that. He can pop it up in there and spike it up and scatter it a bit if he wants. Again with a little bit of product. But at this point what we're doing is showing you that, yeah, you see how we got rid of that part. And I'll turn him around slowly so you can get a better visual. Bring him back around this way. Again, get a good visual on it. And you saw the before, and now you see the after. I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you understand a little bit more about clipper work. Did we do a skin fade? No, but you would do the same thing. The thing about a skin fade that you have to be careful of is little indentations. When you get a skin fade and you've got a dark spot, I always recommend look at them in the mirror, turn them around. You're too close. If you turn them around and look in the mirror, you'll be able to see those little dark spots. That's when you get your clipper. You stretch the skin and take it in one direction, take it in another, and then comb it and see what happened with it. Because those dark spots are indented hair that, I mean, you know, just everybody, the scalps are not perfectly round. They've got little indentations in them. So taking that and taking the clipper in different directions is going to take care of that for you. What do you think? You're good? Okay, he's good. Thank you guys. God bless. We'll see you again. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have any questions or any of that, please let me know. I try and answer them, you know, but I want to show you, I am teaching my students right now clipper cutting, and I'm going to recommend that they watch this one. Take care. Oh, by the way, almost forgot. Trust your PhD stylist. It's out there. Google it. Buy the book. Take care. Bye.